5:30 news starts now on Q2, Montana's news station.
What's gonna be, Johnny?
Let's go.
Well, there you have it, a little taste of the Wild West. Welcome. We are coming to you live tonight from Cody, Wyoming. Yes, Buffalo Bill's personal playground. You know, Buffalo Bill carved out this frontier settlement and gave people from all around the world a little taste of the Wild West adventure. In fact, around here, Buffalo Bill is known as the man who put the word wild in Wild West. I'm Jay Cohn, and along with Bob McGuire and Scott Breen, we're here in Cody, Wyoming, live tonight with our latest edition of Q2 Country. As we stand here today, Cody, Wyoming's population stands at about 10,000 people. Now, this town, of course, is the eastern gateway to Yellowstone National Park, and it boasts its western spirit for all who visit here. Bob McGuire, looks like we picked a perfect day to come to Cody. What's the 4th of July holiday have in store as far as weather's concerned?
It's going to be perfect. We're a little hot today and tomorrow, but by the 4th we start cooling down. By the weekend we'll get back into the 70s, maybe a slight chance for an afternoon splash and dash shower all weekend long.
Sounding good.
It's going to be perfect.
Thanks, feels like about 120 up here. We're in Cody or Vegas?
We're on the balcony of the Irma Hotel. Scott, what do you got coming up in sports?
You know, there's 1 week out of the summer, almost nationwide, through the south and the west and the north. That's all about rodeo. This is that week, and this is one of the biggest. In fact, it's the highest paying one-stop rodeo in the nation, the Cody Stampede. We'll tell you who to watch for and what to look for, plus Q2's Athlete of the Week coming up in sports.
All right, that's a little bit later coming up. Well, you know, a key part of the western charm of Cody, Wyoming plays out on these summer nights right here in front of the Irma Hotel. That's when the good guys and the bad guys shoot it out in an old-fashioned western shootout. Let's go down to Kyle Benton right now, who has more about this weekly and nightly event. Kyle?
Well, Jay, 6 days a week, June through September, young and old alike come together and are taken back to a time in the Wild West when bar fights, bank robberies, and showdowns right in the middle of the street were quite the common thing. Buffalo Bill, Doc Holliday, and Calamity Jane, all well-known names from the Old West, all of which can be seen in action just off Main Street.
Buffalo Bill was probably the biggest showman there was in the Old West until the early 1900s.
And keeping the Old West alive, this crew of 15 cowboy actors play their part in sharing that Buffalo spirit.
We try to give the crowd a sense of the Old West, knowing full well that we got paved streets, you know, we've got roadblocks here.
Taking spectators back to a period where the law was often decided by the gun in your hand, these cowboys love sharing the tales of the West with their fans.
I can't get enough of them, really. They can't get enough of us. We get hugs and kisses, and, you know, we actually correspond with folks across the world through emails.
At the end of the day, when the bandits have fallen and the good prevailed, this cast can go home with the joy of knowing Cody's yesteryears are still alive and well. Now, an interesting side note, the Cody Gunfighters are a non-profit organization, meaning that the majority of the proceeds that they receive through sponsors, they give back to charities such as Habitat for Humanity and even the relief effort for the tornado victims down in Oklahoma. So the main message of this being, support your local gunfighters. Jay, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Kyle. Good stuff there. Well, you know, that gunfight, just one of the many attractions that brings thousands of tourists to Cody, Wyoming each year. And there is no busier time than this week right now, the 4th of July. I'm happy to introduce you now to Mike Darby, one of the owners of the historic Irma Hotel. Mike, thanks for letting us hang out on your deck tonight.
Thank you, Jay.
Tell us a little bit about this historic hotel, which is one of the focal points of downtown Cody.
It was built in 1902, opened in November. Buffalo Bill named it after his youngest daughter, Irma, and she ran this hotel to just the finest hotel there ever was in the Wyoming. Buffalo Bill adorned it with a gift from Queen Victoria, which was a cherrywood bar that was built in France, shipped to Paris, and from Paris went to New York on a steamship. From New York, believe it or not, went on a locomotive, and then from Red Lodge, it came here in horse-drawn freight wagons.
And you can still see that famous back bar downstairs, along with all the other wood. This hotel's just chock full of that cherry wood. It's really something spectacular if you've never seen the Irma.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jay. And there's all sorts of people come here from all walks of life, all different countries, and they just love the gunfight, love the cherrywood bar, and just experience the West as it once was.
And it's still a working hotel. You can stay here, right?
It is. We have 39 rooms, and many of them have been redone back to the original plumbing, the overhead water closets, the
huge bathtubs with the claw feet and everything. And you were telling me this, you can't see it, but right over here is Buffalo Bill's personal room. I looked in there, there's a big flat screen TV and a coffee maker. That probably wasn't there when Buffalo Bill was staying there.
Absolutely. You're right, Jay. You got me on that one. But there is a clawfoot bathtub, and the room is back to similar to where Buffalo Bill had it. And he kept 2 of these suites for he and his guests. And there's the Prince of Monaco was here, who his grandson is returning this year. He also had, I want to say, Wild Bill Hickok and
Calamity
Jane, Annie Oakley, and people of that nature.
Great. Hey, Mike, looks like a busy week. Thanks for joining us. Mike Darby, one of the owners of the historic Irma. Now, here's a look at all the things that are happening here in Cody over the 94th Cody State.